Hi everyone, welcome back to Flow with Eve. Today we have a quick Pilates flow. We're going to do it with the mini Pilates ball. So if you don't have a Pilates ball, then feel free to modify without it. This is just going to add a bit of extra intensity. So we're going to get started lying down on our backs. We're just going to start to warm up through the legs. So bringing your left knee in towards your chest, hugging it in nice and tight. Hello, Luna. Your right leg can be straight out long, or it can be bent up with the sole of the foot on the ground. And we're going to extend the leg up to the sky, holding onto the back of the leg, whatever feels comfortable for you. To the shin or the back of the thigh. We're just going to point and flex through that foot a couple of times. So let's rebend the leg, and we're going to hug it in towards the left armpit, keeping that right hip down. With our right hand, we're going to draw the knee across the body, send the hips over to the left as we come into a supine twist. Maybe taking your gaze over the left shoulder if that feels good for your neck. Breathing into the spine, into the back body as we open up through the chest. Bringing your knee back into your chest and lowering it down. Switching to the other side, hugging the right knee in towards the chest. And then lengthening the leg up towards the sky, holding onto the back of the leg, guiding the knee a little bit closer in towards the body to stretch to the hamstring. And then just point and flexing through that foot a couple of times. Rebending the leg and then hugging it in towards the right armpit. If we keep that left hip bone grounded, we can have the hand on the hip to just guide it down. Grabbing the knee with the left hand as we send the hips over to the right, cross the body into your supine twist. Maybe the gaze goes over to the right. Bring it back through center. We're not going to need the ball just yet, but just keep it nice and handy to the side. We're just going to work through some pelvic tilts, so scooch the heels in close towards the glutes. We're going to inhale as we're here in this neutral spine, so that natural arch underneath the back. As we exhale, we're going to tilt the pelvis up as we draw the lower back down towards the ground, imprinting the spine. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale as we come into our natural arch. Exhale as we imprint it down. One more. Inhale, natural. Exhale, imprint. We're going to go back to our neutral spine now. We're going to grab hold of the ball. We're going to reach it up over the head. And we're just going to release the ball down by the ear. And then exhale to draw it back up to the sky. Inhale as we reach the hands up overhead, squeezing into that ball. Making sure our ribs aren't flaring out as the arms come down. Let's do two more, and then we're going to add on. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift. Let's bring the right leg into tabletop now. Extend the leg away from the body as we reach the arms up overhead. Come back through tabletop, reach the arms up, tap the toes down. Switch to the left side, left leg into tabletop. Extend the arm and the legs away from the body. Back through tabletop and switch. Good, let's continue alternating through one side and the other. Just going to do a couple more like this, and then we're going to add on. One more to each side. We're going to imprint the spine now, bring the legs into tabletop. Bring the ball into the right hand. We're going to extend the right arm behind the body as the left leg sweeps down, just hovering it just off the mat. And then exhale to draw it all back up. Switch the ball to the other hand. Right leg away, the left arm comes back. Bring it all back up on the exhale. Keep switching the ball between each hand. We're keeping that lower back grounded down into the mat the whole time. Keep scooping that belly button down towards the spine. Inhale as we lower, exhale to lift. Coming in through our full dead bug. So you can be doing this without the ball. if you don't have one handy. Main focus is to keep that lower back grounded, keep the ribs drawing down towards the hips. Let's do 2 more to each side. Last one. Okay, let's straighten the legs up towards the sky now. We're just going to reach the ball up to the toes. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. For 10. Reach up as high as you can. For 7. Point through the toes. 6. 5. Lift up to those toes. 3, 2, and 1. Good, plant your feet down. We're going to bring the ball in between the thighs now. Bring the hands behind the head, elbows wide. Inhale to prepare, ground the heels in towards the ground. Exhale as we curl the body up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lower. Squeezing that ball in between the thighs. Keeping the elbows nice and wide. Exhale to lift. Inhale, lower. We can stay here with the feet on the ground, or we can imprint the spine, bring the legs into tabletop. Same thing, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Keep squeezing into that ball to engage your core even more. Keep the lower back grounded if your legs are in tabletop. Let's go for 10. Keep the elbows wide, keep squeezing into that ball. Draw ribs to hips on the exhale. Final 4. 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Good, bring that ball out. I'm going to come into oblique crunches now, so you can either keep the feet down or you can bring them up into tabletop. Legs about hip distance apart now. Same thing, inhale to prepare. Exhale, curl. We're going to twist over to the left. Right elbow towards the outside of the left leg. Back through center. And lower down. Exhale, lift. Twist. Back through center. And lower. Keep going. Really trying to draw the opposite shoulder over to the outside of the opposite knee. Rounding that lower back down, drawing the belly button to spine. If you want to add on from here, when we count up, we extend the opposite leg away from the body, back through center, lower it down. Exhale, lift. Twist, extend the leg away, back through center, and lower. Reaching those toes away from the body. We can come down and reset after each rep, or we can just stay up and switch. And switch. For 10. 9. Keep the elbows wide. 7. Reach through the toes. Keep the head nice and high. 5. Lift the shoulders up a little more. 3. Final 2. And 1. Good, rest the head down, hug those knees in. We'll lift ourselves up now, roll ourselves up to an all-fours position. The ball's going to come in between the thighs. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Let's tuck through the toes. Pushing up through the shoulders. Exhale, lift the knees. Crazy dog today. Inhale, tap them down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, tap. Lift. Tap. Good, so we're really using that exhale to hover those knees just off of the ground. We still want to keep a nice flat back, so slight tuck through those hips. Keep gripping through the fingers, pushing the shoulder blades up to meet that upper back, scooping up through the belly. Tap to lift. Good, let's go for 4 more, and then we're going to add in a twist. 3, 2, 1. Hold up high. We're going to tilt our hips over to the right, back through center, to the left. through center. Keep switching from side to side, keeping the knees hovered the whole time if you can. We're just dropping the right hip over to the right side, coming back through that bear hover, over to the left. Upper body stays still, we're just moving through the lower body, keeping that core switched on. If you want to add on, next time the hips go over, maybe we lift the opposite hand. Back through center. Twist, lift the hand. Hover, twist, lift, hover, twist, lift. We're going to go for 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Send the hips back to your downward dog. Good, lengthen through the spine, grounding down through the heels. Take a breath. Gonna lower the knees down now. Gonna come into a side lying position. Just coming down onto your forearm, elbow stacked underneath the shoulder. We want our knees to be stacked, hips stacked, heels in line with the rest of our body. We're going to use the ball underneath our other hand. It's going to start with our clamshells. So grounding heels in towards one another. Let's exhale, open the knee up. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Keep pushing into that ball to fire up through the core. Make sure we're lifting up through the underside of the waist. We're not allowing that shoulder to creep up towards the ear. Keeping that heel in contact the whole time. And we're not allowing that hip to roll back. Keeping them nice and stacked. We want to add on from here. Next time we open the knee, we lift the hip up. Close the knee, drop the hip. And into our hip thrusts. As we open the knee, we lift that bottom hip up. As we close the knee, we lower it down. Really feeling it through the outside of that top glute. We'll add on again. Next time we open the knee, we extend the leg away from the body, bring the feet back together, close the knee, drop the hip. Open, extend, close, drop. When we extend the leg, we want to make sure we're extending it at hip height, back in line with the body. Let's go for another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and lower that hip down. I'm going to come onto the hand now. I'm going to come into a modified side plank. So one nice long line all the way from the toes, the hips, and the shoulder and the head. Reaching the ball up in that top hand, opening through the chest. I'm going to start to lift and lower through that straight leg. Exhale to lift, inhale, tap. Exhale, lift, inhale, tap. So only lifting it up to the hip height, keeping in one nice long line. We can start to incorporate the arm here. So next time we lower the foot down, we reach that arm up overhead. As we lift the leg, we tap that ball to the outside of the leg. Inhale, reach the ball up over the head, tap the toes. Exhale, lift the leg, tap the leg. Keeping strong through that stable arm. Let's go for another 6. 5, really using that glute to stabilize you on that kneeling leg. 3, 2, 1. Stay in that same position. We can keep the foot down or we can keep it lifted. We're going to go for our thread the needles. So that ball with the hand, then thread it under the arm. And lift it up. Inhale, thread it under. Exhale to lift. That leg can stay lifted or we can tap the toes down. reaching it as far back as you can, rotating the chest down and back, sending that arm back up, lifting up as much as you can through the underside of that waist, keeping the hips nice and high. Got another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, reach even further for the last one, and drop it down. Give that glute a tap. We get to do it all again on the other side. So starting down on that forearm, going into our clamshells, gluing the heels together. Exhale, lift the top knee. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Keep that core switched on. Keep those hips stacked. Try not to allow that elbow, shoulder to creep up towards the ear. Keeping the hips stacked so we don't roll back on that top hip as we open the knee. We want to add on. When we open, we lift the bottom hip up. As we close, we lower. Lift, open, close, lower. So again, easy to do this without the ball. Just bring your hand down or on the top hip, or even reach it up. We want to add on again. Next time we open, we extend the leg. Bring the heels back together, close and lower. Lift, open, extend, close, lower. Keep reaching those toes away from the body, keeping the leg in line with the hip. Got another 6, 5. Keep strong through that shoulder. 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Coming up onto the hand now, into that modified side plank. Lengthening through the side body. Let's start to lift and lower through that straight leg. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Hips stacked. Hand underneath the shoulder. It'll be even more difficult on this side because we've been stabilizing through this glute for the other side. You want to start to add on the arm, reach it up and over, and then tap the outside of the leg. Inhale, reach, exhale, tap. Lifting up that waist a little more as you reach the ball up overhead. Got another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that leg or keep it lifted for our thread throughs. Thread the ball back and lift it up to the sky. Gaze follows the ball. Want to keep those hips nice and lifted even when we're threading the ball through. Try not to collapse through the lower body. Wringing out through that waist. Got another 6. Reach a little further for 5, 4. Maybe challenge yourself to lift that leg for the last 3, 2, and 1. Good, drop it down. That glute a tap. Gonna come onto our back now. Ball's gonna go in between the thighs for our bridge series. So squeeze the ball in between the thighs. We want our heels to be close towards the glutes. So I'm going to start in this neutral position with the spine, grounding into the heels. And then we're going to tilt the pelvis up as we lower the back down, start to lift those hips up. Squeeze through the ball, squeeze the glutes. And then lower down, upper back, middle back, lower back, then tail. Start to Keep lifting and lowering, articulating through the spine. The hips are the first thing to lift, and they're the last thing to lower. To make sure we're not just dumping down all at once. We're really focusing on that articulation through the spine. Squeezing the ball at the top before you lower it down. And almost think about pulling the heels in towards the glutes to fire up through the hamstrings as well. Got a few more, and then we're going to stay up for some pulses. Squeeze the ball for 3. Final 2. Hips nice and high. Last one. Let's hold it up there. Squeeze into the ball. Lower halfway. Lift. Lower. Lift. For 10. 9. Hips a little higher. 5. Nope, not 5. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Hold the hips high. Squeeze. And then carefully lower it back down. Hug those knees into the chest. I'm going to go for some single bridge work now. We're going to bring the ball behind that left knee. Same thing again. Let's rise up one vertebrae at a time, lifting the hips up high. We're going to work through the right leg. So let's come onto the toes of the right foot. We're going to come into our single leg bridge marches. So lift that leg to tabletop, tap the toes down. Lift and tap. Exhale, lift. Inhale, tap. The toes don't tap all the way down. No worries, just making sure we're keeping those hips nice and stable. Keep squeezing into that ball. This one's really going to fire up through that hamstring. Let's go for another 8. 7. We're going to stay up high in 6. 5. Keep the core switched on, ribs to hips. 3. 2. 1. Stay in tabletop. We're going to bend and extend through that leg. So extend it away in line with the other leg and then bend back to tabletop. For 8. 7. Keep squeezing that ball. 6. Point through the toes. 5. 4. We've got one more variation to go after this. 3. 2. 1. Send the toes up high. Flex the foot. Sweep the leg down. Point the toes. Sweep the leg up. Flex the toes. Sweep it down. Point the toes. Sweep it up. Good. Let's go for 6. 5. Keep the hips up high. 4. 3. Final 2. Don't forget to lower the hips. Last one. Bring the foot down and lower all the way down. Good. I'm going to go to the other side now, so bring the ball behind the right knee. Ground into the heels, rise the hips up. I'm going to come into those single leg marches. Lift the leg to tabletop. Tap the toes down. Lift and tap. Keep squeezing that ball behind the knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Keep those hips high. Keep the ribs drawn to the hips. Keep that core engaged. Try and not let the shoulders rise up to the ears. Let's go for another 8. And we've got these bend and extends. So, oh, my glutes are on fire. Let me know how yours are. Final 2. 1. Stay in tabletop. Extend the leg away and bend. Extend and bend. For 6. 5. 4. 3. Keep squeezing that ball. 2. 1. Reach the toes up, flex the foot, sweep it down. Point the toes, sweep it up. Lead with the heel on the way down. Lead with the toes on the way up. For 8. 7. Keep the hips high. 6. 5. Keep squeezing that ball. 4. 3. Hips a little higher, last 2. 1. Plant that foot down, lower it down. Move that ball, just windshield wiper your legs side to side. Let's do a quick figure of 4. I know I need it. Lifting the ankle over the thigh, either keeping the foot down or lifting it up to tabletop. You grab the back of that thigh, pull the knee into the body as you use the other elbow to guide your knee away, flexing through the feet. Keep the tailbone down. Gentle rock side to side if that feels good. Swap sides. This is your glute series done. You've just got upper body to go. And we are done. All definitely adds more intensity. Let's lift ourselves up. We're going to come onto our bellies. So lower yourself down, holding the ball up overhead, pressing the forehead down. And we're going to think of drawing our pubic bone in towards the mat as we lift our belly button away from the mat, grounding into the tops of the feet. Just going to lift and lower with that ball. So working through the shoulders. Let's lift the ball and lower. Lift and lower. We're just warming up through the shoulders. Doesn't matter how high you go with these lift and lowers. It's just about the shoulder mobility. Draw that belly button up away from the mat. Keep the pubic bone down. Let's go for another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to bring the ball into the palms of the hands now. We're going to start with our head down. And we're going to roll the ball in towards the body as we open up through the chest. Ground the shoulder blades back towards one another. Lower it back down, push the ball away. Inhale, rise up. Open through the chest. Exhale, lower it back down. Now slow, controlled movements. We're just working through that back body. Lift and lower that chest. Last 4, maybe we lift a little higher. Final 3, gripping into the tops of the feet. 2, squeeze the shoulder blades back. Last one. And lower down. So we're going to bring ourselves up into a modified plank. The ball comes under one hand. Lower the hips down. We're going to push the ball away and draw it back in under the shoulder. Push the ball away and draw it back in. So keep everything else still. We're just rolling that ball away and bringing it back. So more of a challenge is to go up on the toes here. We just want those hips to stay stable, so we don't want them to be rocking all over the place. So if you need to drop down to the knees, to keep those hips still. Got another 8, 7, 6, 5. If you don't have the ball, you can just do the reaches. 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees down. Switch to the other side. Then you can be down on the knees, rolling with that ball. You can be up on the toes for that challenge. Keep the breath going, keep the hips still, keep drawing that belly button up. Slight tap through those hips for another 6. I'm out of breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Lower it down. I'm going to go into triceps now. So the ball comes back under one hand in this all fours position. I'm going to keep the spine straight. I'm just going to bend at the elbows, lower the forearms down towards the ground. Then we shift our weight forwards, stay low, and then push up. So lower those elbows and forearms down, shift the weight forwards, and push up. That ball is just going to add another level to your stability, making you work a little bit harder. So we're not moving through the spine until the spine stays nice and straight. Bending at those elbows, keeping the armpits hugging into the body. Keep those hips tucked under. We've got another 3, 2, last one. Swap the ball to the other side, triceps on the other side. Bend at the elbows, lower the forearms down, lift it up. Bend, shift the weight forwards, push up. Bend, shift forwards, push up. Keep that core switched on. Keep nice and length through the back of the neck. Firing up through the backs of the arms. Got another 4, 3, final 2, last one. Lift yourself up into a high kneel. Bring the ball behind you, arms straight, hinging forward at the hips. We're just going to lift and lift, pulsing through those arms, holding onto the ball, straight arms, squeezing the shoulder blades back, sucking up through the belly for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, a little faster, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the ball down, keep the hips high as we melt the chest down into the ground. Keeping up high on that ball is just going to give us an extra range for those shoulders. Keep the hips stacked over the knees. Good work, guys. We're going to cool it down now. Hard work is done. Lifting up into all fours, planting the left hand down. So we sweep the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, thread. You don't have to have the ball in the hand. Last one. We plant the back of the hand, the side of the head down. Keep the hips high. That left hand can stay down grounded, or we can reach it up to the sky. Or we can bring it back in a bind, holding onto that inner thigh, rolling the shoulder back, open the chest a little more. Start to deepen the breath. And release that hand down. Sweep it back up. Move to the other side. Left arm sweeps up. Exhale, thread it under. Inhale, lift. Exhale, thread. One more. Hold it down the left side of the head down. Same options as the other side. We can lift the arm. We'll wrap it round in a bind. One more breath. Releasing it all. Lifting that left arm back up and lower it down. Good job, guys. You are done for the class. So that Pilates ball looks innocent, but it really adds that extra bit of intensity. So if you did manage to use it, let me know how you got on with it. If you didn't have a Pilates ball and you were able to modify it without it, then you still would have got a great workout from that one. So let me know how you got on in the comments, and until next time, I will see you then.